The first time I saw her in that dress, I thought it was made for me. A black, backless silk dress that clung to her curves and shimmered under the dim light of our bedroom. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, my tie loosened, just staring at her as if I'd never seen her before. "You're going to kill me in that," I had whispered back then, and she'd laughed, spun in front of the mirror, and kissed me until I couldn't think. But that night was years ago. Tonight, when she put it on, I knew it wasn't for me. "Where are you going?" I asked, my voice sharp enough to make her pause with her earring halfway on. She didn't look at me, just kept adjusting herself in the mirror. "Out with some friends. Don't wait up." The words were too casual, too rehearsed. My stomach turned. "That's the dress you wore on our anniversary," I said. She finally turned, and there was something in her eyes I hadn't seen in a long time, something detached, almost guilty. "So?" she replied, shrugging as if it meant nothing. I stood my chest tight. "If you leave this house in that dress, don't bother coming back." The silence that followed was deafening. Her lips parted slightly, but no words came out. We just stared at each other across the room, like two strangers sharing a history neither wanted to remember. And in that moment I knew. Her name is Claire. We've been married for 7 years. For most of them I believed we were solid. We had the kind of marriage people envied, at least from the outside. She had a way of making people feel warm, welcomed. And me. I was proud just to be hers. But the past year had been different. Little things. Late nights at work. Phone always turned face down. Fewer touches, fewer laughs, more excuses. I wanted to believe it was stress, that maybe I had been too wrapped up in my own job to notice what she needed. I kept telling myself marriages go through rough patches. That it was nothing. But nothing doesn't wear that dress. Nothing doesn't lie with such steady eyes. The breaking point. She laughed, too loud, too forced. "You're being ridiculous." "Am I?" I stepped closer, my fists clenching. "You're not going out with friends, Claire. Not in that dress." "Who is he?" Her face hardened. "I don't owe you an explanation every time I step out of this house." "Yes, you do. I'm your husband." That's when her mask slipped. Just for a second. But I saw it, guilt, fear, and then defiance. "You're suffocating me, Daniel," she snapped. "Do you even hear yourself? Threatening me like I'm some child." I felt my throat tighten. "I'm not threatening. I'm telling you the truth. If you walk out that door tonight, don't come back." Her hand trembled as she reached for her purse. That small gesture broke me more than the shouting. She was torn, but not enough to stay. The drive. Left. The door slammed, and I stood there frozen, staring at the empty space where she'd just been. My ears rang with the echo of her heels against the floor, with the sound of my own words. "If you leave in that dress, don't bother coming back." I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch, lights off, phone in hand. Her location was still shared with me, but I didn't dare check it. I didn't need confirmation of what I already knew. Images ran through my mind like poison. Her laughing with him. His hands on the dress that was once mine. Her lips against his. Around 2 a.m. I heard her come back. Keys jingling, the door creaking open carefully, like she hoped I'd be asleep. I didn't move. Didn't greet her. Didn't ask where she'd been. She slipped upstairs without a word. And in that silence, something inside me broke. Evidence. The next morning I searched. I'm not proud of it. But I needed truth. I went through her phone when she showered. It didn't take long. A string of messages. A name I didn't recognize. "Can't stop thinking about last night. Next time don't leave so early." Photos. Her in that dress. Smiling for him, not me. I felt like I was drowning. 7 years of marriage reduced to a handful of texts and stolen moments in hotel rooms. When she came out of the shower, I was sitting on the bed, her phone in my hand. My eyes must have looked dead because she froze. "Daniel," she whispered. "Don't," I said, my voice low. "Don't lie to me again." She sat down slowly, wrapping the towel tighter around her. Her lip trembled. I didn't mean for it to happen. That sentence, that cowardly excuse, set me on fire. Didn't mean for it to happen. Claire, you chose it. Every text, every kiss, every time you put on that damn dress, you chose him over me. Tears spilled down her face. I was lonely. You've been distant and I. Don't you dare put this on me, I cut in. I may not be perfect, but I never betrayed you. I never humiliated you like this. The room went silent. Only the sound of her sobs filled the space between us. We tried to talk in the days that followed, but the words were hollow. Every time she touched me, I felt his hands instead. Every, "I'm sorry" sounded like a rehearsal. Friends noticed. My mother called, asking why Claire hadn't come to Sunday dinner. Delight. I didn't want anyone to know. Not yet. At work, I buried myself in projects, anything to keep from going home. But nights were the hardest. The bed felt like a battlefield, her on one side, me on the other, with a war of silence in between. One evening she finally broke. "Daniel, I ended it. With him. Swear. Please, can't we try again?" I looked at her, really looked. She was the same woman I'd fallen in love with. The same laugh, the same eyes. But she wasn't mine anymore. Not in the way that mattered. "I told you," I whispered. "If you left in that dress, don't bother coming back." And you did. Her face crumpled, and for the first time, I saw her truly realize what she'd lost. The decision. The papers came 2 weeks later. I filed them quietly, without drama. She begged, pleaded, promised. But betrayal is a wound that doesn't close, no matter how many apologies are poured into it. On the day we signed, she wore a plain blouse and jeans. No makeup. No dress. She looked small, broken. As we sat across from each other in that sterile office, I almost reached for her hand out of habit. But I stopped myself. That bond had already been severed. When it was over, she whispered, "I'll always love you." I nodded, though I didn't believe her. Love doesn't lie. Love doesn't sneak out in the night. Love doesn't wear that dress for someone else. It's been months now. People ask how I'm doing and I tell them I'm fine. Some days it's even true. But sometimes late at night I see her in that dress again. The way it swayed when she walked away from me. The way I knew deep down that it was the last time she'd ever belonged to me. I used to think betrayal was a single act. A kiss, a touch, a night away. But it isn't. It's every little choice that leads up to it. It's every lie that builds the distance. It's every dress worn for someone else. And the cruelest part. It teaches you that love can end not with a scream, but with silence. The night she left in that dress, she didn't just walk out the door. She walked out of our marriage. Out of our future. Out of me. And I meant every word. If she leaves in that dress, she doesn't come back. She never did.